Hey y'all, CB here, No BS Welder here at NBS Welding, and the first thing I'm going to tell you is I am not a tire technician, but on the Super Service truck, about 3 months ago, I did something to one of the rear tires where I put goop in it. The sealer, that you're not supposed to use to seal your tires. I had about a 4 or 5 month period with one of my rear tires where it just slowly leaked air. And when I'm saying slowly, the TPS, the tire pressure monitoring system, would alert me about every, once a week, every 5 days or so, that the tire was low. And it being a rear tire, I thought I'd take a chance on it. There's enough tread left on the tires that I wanted to give it a try. And what I did, I took the tire off the truck. I know that you have a really hard time getting any amount of that tire sealer in a tire with it mounted on the wheel. And so what I did was, with that rear tire, I took the tire off the truck. I broke it off the bead. I broke the tire off the bead on the wheel, and poured a bunch of the tire sealer in that gap. Put the air to it, got it back on the bead, put it back on the truck, and aired it up. And I have not added air to that tire since. And now I've got a front tire doing it. I'm a little more concerned about the sealer in the front tire because, it could throw me out of balance. And it's especially bad on these front axle Fords to have a wheel out of balance because of the death wobble. If you're not familiar with that, you can definitely, I would think, find some videos on the Ford death wobble. But basically what the death wobble is on these straight axle Fords, if there's an oscillation that starts oscillating in your front end, your straight front axle will start just shaking, and you have to stop. You almost have to stop the truck to stop it from shaking. I recently had these wheels rebalanced. I'm trying to milk it till about Christmas. I'm gonna get tires at Christmas. I've got Coopers on this truck, and what I would say on that is I'll never get another set of Coopers. I'm disappointed in these tires. I always ran BFGs in the past. A tire guy I talked to recently doesn't like the BFGs either, but I had good luck with them. The BF Goodrich TAs, I ran one after another and never had a bit of trouble with those. Really liked them in a load range E on the truck, but they're expensive, and I was trying to save some money, and I saved some money, I thought, when I got these Coopers. And when I first drove on the Coopers, they were smoother. They were definitely a smoother ride than the BF Goodrich. Thought that was good, but I've had more trouble with these tires, and I've had to rebalance them, and they still wobble, and I just don't like them. The tire guy that I recently talked to, he likes the Maxxis, and Maxxis is actually available in a 12 ply, which is a load range F that I didn't even know existed. But I've always ran the load range E. Years ago, when I was really poor, I tried to run load range D on a welding trucks, and you just get flats. They just can't take it. You definitely got to have at least a 10 ply, the load range E at least. I did not know that there was such thing as a 12 ply. I did not know that there was such thing as a load range F, but that is interesting with the Maxxis, although I expect they're going to ride rough. I don't know, but it looks like that'd be what I'm going to try. If you got an F250 or a 2500 truck like mine, with the odd situation like mine does, where you got a 12,000 pound truck with 8,000 pounds on the rear axle and 4,000 pounds on the front axle, if you've got tires that you're having good luck with, leave it in the comments for me, because I've only got a couple months. I got to milk these until What I like to do is get new tires just before the snow flies. So, you know, right now, as long as I can get these some bitches to hold air, I'm going to run them. I'm going to run them until right before the snow flies, and that's when I want to put new tires on this truck. So, I'm going to take a chance today on the Goop. I've repeatedly had to add air to one of my front tires. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this front tire off and bust it off the bead and put the Goop to it and see if I can fix it like I successfully fixed that rear tire on the other side. And I figured I'd go ahead and do a video of it. So here we go. Just checking to see if everybody in here is doing what they're supposed to do. Obviously, Dune's a hound dog in there on the couch. Shadow, she looks like she's bird dogging there on the couch. Zoe loves to stay under this. She likes to get underneath this table I built. That was actually built to go in a house that I was gonna do it as a bed and breakfast. Ended up not doing that. We didn't do the bed and breakfast. It didn't seem like it was going to be as good a deal as what I thought it was originally. So we ended up renting it out on a 1-year lease. But anywho, so here's the thing on this tire. I've had tire technicians tell me the worst thing in the world to do is put that slime in your tire. So it's kind of bad whenever you do something that you're not supposed to do, like I did successfully on that rear tire, because the problem is if you do something you're not supposed to do and it works, you're probably going to do it again. But like I said, I'm trying to milk these tires till the end of the year, and I've already wasted enough time adding air to that tire. I've already wasted more time adding air to it than what it took me to put that slime in there. And if that slime stops it from leaking, like it did when I did it the last time on the rear tire that was leaking, if it stops it from leaking from now until the end of the year, it's going to totally be worth it. And I just hope that that slime doesn't cause me a balance issue that I'd have to put that tire on the back. If it causes a huge balance issue, and makes it, because you can't have front tires out of balance on a straight axle Ford. The straight axles they're great. That's the toughest front end you can get. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, on a work truck, the straight front axle is what you want. I had a GM with the torsion bars, and that thing sunk about 1 inch to 1.5 inches a year. I was cranking them things and buying torsion keys and adding different torsion keys to get it cranked up. But that system does not work on a heavy work truck. It did not for me. I had 2 of them. But anyway, we're going to give it a shot. And I'm not going to give it a thumbs up. I can't give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, either one right now, because I don't know if it's going to work. I'm just going to say I did it, and right, wrong, or indifferent, I'll take responsibility for what I've done. I might even, this slime that I put in here, that could be something that damages the tire pressure monitoring system. And if that's the case, I have to buy new sensors for the tire pressure monitoring system, those sensors that are in the wheels. Now, I did check the pressure in the rear tire that I slimed before to see if it actually stopped leaking or if I ruined the tire pressure monitor, and the pressure is correct. And it's stayed that way for quite a while now, months. So we'll see. Y'all have a good one, and I thank you for watching. I want to do an update on the tire talking situation and probably try to get this video posted, because I want to get some comments and advice from anybody that's got anything to say about tires on a heavy F-250 like mine. Any of y'all, if there's a particular type of, I'd be getting an all-terrain tire. If there's a particular type of all-terrain tire that you got something to say about, it's got to. I know it's got to be an all-terrain. It's got to be at least a load range E, and the size is probably going to be a 33 1250. But just to finish out all the updates on what I've done within the last couple weeks here, that front tire that I put the goop in, I believe I sealed it. It worked. That trick worked again. But what I did find after I drove it a day or so, even though I didn't have to add air, I drove it a little over a week, I think 8 days. It was either drove or had been gooped up for 8 days, and I didn't have to add any air. And the way it was before, I'd have had to add air by then, so I think I fixed it. But what I did notice was I did throw it out of balance putting that slime in there. And so I did, like I said, I put it on the back and put the back one on the front, and that fixed the problem. So if you have to slime one and it's on the front, you better assume you're going to probably have to put it on the back, because with the amount of goop I put in there, I did throw that thing way out of balance. So here's the other update. Right here's my original wheels with those tires. And obviously they are not on the Super Service truck. So here's the other notes I've got on tires. I bought a set of 2019 Ford wheels. Now my truck is a 2014. It was built in July of 2013. I think it's titled as a 2014. But not too long ago, a buddy of mine had a set of wheels that came off a 2019 F250. I saw them for sale on Facebook, and I didn't really need them, but I knew they'd fit my truck. And I waited a week or so and hollered at him. I was like, man, you get rid of them wheels? He said, nah, I still got them. I said, well, I don't really need them, but if you'd take this and this for them, I'd probably buy them off of you. He said, no problem. He said, I want to get rid of them. I'll take it. And I don't remember what I paid for them, but it was less than he was asking. And that's why I wanted to give him time to see if he could get rid of them at full price, what he was asking, because it wasn't worth buying them to me for what he was asking. But a couple things about getting them wheels off him. They have a set of 35 1250 tires, which is quite a bit bigger than what I've been running, but I've been wondering about running bigger tires, and I've been nervous about running bigger tires because my reels on my super service truck, I got to be able to reach to crank them up, and I'm short. My Napa hide service body is actually called, it's a special ordered body called a low profile, where the side boxes are 4 inches lower than a standard bed. And I got that bed that way for that reason, because I knew I was going to put the reels up on the side of the truck. Well, here, the other things that I've been wondering about as far as going bigger on my tires is I was wondering if that was an issue, and I kind of killed two birds with one stone by getting this extra set of wheels off my buddy, because the fact that it's got 35 1250 tires, even though the tires are shot, it gave me a chance to put them on my truck and see what I thought. And what I've found is that it's not going to make much difference rolling up my reels. So if I want to go bigger on tires, going with a bigger tire doesn't raise the truck up enough that it's going to be an issue with me rolling up my hoses and cables. That's not a problem. The next thing is, you know, what fits good on the truck. Because I always did feel like the tires I was running were kind of small. You know, everybody with a four-wheel drive, generally you want bigger tires. And I don't run the miles I used to run. You know, when I was in the drilling industry, I could put 25,000 miles a year on a truck. I don't put 5,000 miles a year on my truck now. So as far as wearing out tires or wearing out brakes, or, you know, worrying about the issues that can come up by running a larger size tire, that's not as much of an issue as it used to be. So there's a couple things that concern me about the shop I've been dealing with on tires. They've been great. They've done a lot of state inspections for me recently, and I also had a flat on the shyster, my forklift, and I needed a tube put in one of those tires. And those tires are kind of hard to goof with. A lot of tire shops won't mess with forklift tires. They're, you know, they're a 14 ply with a crazy heavy wheel and that ring. I don't know what you call it, but they fixed that for me. I want to keep dealing with them, but there's a couple things. The lady at that shop told me that the 33 1250s that I was getting priced wasn't going to fit my truck. They was going to rub. Well, what's on the super service truck right now are 35 1250s, and they fit just fine. So I have no doubt that a 33 1250 is not going to be a problem. So she was wrong there. The next thing was that she told me that, well, let me back up and explain what I've done. I took off those factory wheels and put these wheels from a 2019 on here, not knowing what that would do to my tire pressure monitoring system. I do like the tire pressure monitoring system. I've changed to where I used to be real old school, and nowadays I like this new stuff. I mean, if I've got a tire that's lost air, I want the computer to tell me to check my tires, and I appreciate that. I mean, you know, back in the old days with the old brick nose dually, I was saying, I don't want none of that new stuff. I don't want none of that new stuff. But I've changed. You know, after having this truck right here, I tell you, if I'm going to have a truck, I want it to have a 6-way power seat that's heated and cooled. I want it to have Bluetooth. I want it to have a backup camera. I want a tire pressure monitoring system. I want all that stuff on my truck. Now, I've literally drove this truck for 10 years with all that stuff, and it all still works, and I still love it. The key code on that door that allows me to lock and unlock the truck without taking the key out of it. All that stuff, I love it. But anyways, I didn't know what the TPMS system was going to do whenever I put these 2019 wheels on the 2014 truck. Well, I put them on there and just run it. They told me at the tire shop if there was an issue that I would know in 12 to 15 miles. I drove the truck 28 miles and I didn't get any dash messages at all from the tire pressure monitoring system. Well, I was in the tire shop getting the forklift tire fixed, and I talked to that lady and I told her that, and she said, well, you're good then. Your sensors have linked up. That means those 2019 sensors are communicating with your 2014 computer, and you're good. She said, if you haven't got a message by now, you don't need to buy new sensors or nothing. Well, I decided to not 100% count on that, and I came home and I let air out of one of my tires until it got to the point of like less than 40 psi of air. Now these tires, my TPS monitoring system, if my tire pressure went below 65, it would always let me know. So I intentionally let the air out of one of my tires to the point that it had 40 pounds of air in it. And I drove the thing for 20 miles and it didn't say a damn thing. Nothing. Never told me I had a low tire. Never told me to check my tires. Never told me to check the TPMS system. Never told me nothing. I'm convinced now that that's the second time that they were wrong. Because not only would 33 1250s fit on this truck just fine, but I don't believe for a second that the tire pressure monitors in these 2019 wheels are linked up properly with my computer. It wouldn't stop me from running these tires and wheels, you know, if I wanted to run them some, but I need to be aware that if I'm running them, the system's not going to let me know if I got a low tire. So I could get new sensors and put in these wheels and have my new tires put on the 2019 wheels. I could also leave those alone and just keep them. Have my new tires put on my original 2014 wheels that I know have the original factory sensors that are linked up properly and will work properly. Right now I'm leaning towards doing that. But, you know, the original factory wheels that have the big 6 spokes, they have the big thick 6 spokes. You can go back in the video and see what they look like. Same video. And these have a dozen little spokes. Is one wheel better looking than the other? Not really. I probably got more clear coat damage on the original 2014 wheels, but of course those wheels are a lot older. And I could probably fix that. I could probably take all the weights off and scuff them up and hit them with a coat of clear and fix that. So, not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm probably going to get this video edited and get it out there and see if you guys, if you know anything that you think I should know about tires before I do this, like I say, back in the days years ago when I was welding for the drilling industry, it was no big deal to put tires on my truck. That was a write-off for a business that was making $250,000 a year or more at the time. And, you know, I put tires on my truck between Thanksgiving and Christmas every year, whether I needed them or not. Back in them days, I would throw away tires then that, gosh, I wish I had now. I wish I had now. But, you know, I don't make that kind of money no more. And going and spending $1,200 to $1,500 on a set of tires right now is something that I have to consider it now. I have to make a decision on, you know, in a whole different way. You know, the little bit of money that we scrape by on now, that's how we buy our groceries and our dog food. You know, life ain't like it was when I was welding in the drilling industry. So any information that any of y'all want to share about tires on an F-250, like I say, I'm pretty convinced I'm going with a 33 1250. I don't want to go 35s. I don't think they need to be that tall, but I do want to go bigger, and I do like them a little wider. They look better that way. So it is going to be a 33 1250. It's going to be an all-terrain tire. It's going to be a minimum of a load range E. The Maxxis Razor all-terrain that I'm looking at, that I think I'm going to get, is available in a load range F, which I kind of like going up in load range, considering that the tire's getting a little larger. That should help. And yeah, those are the parameters. It's definitely going to be either a load range E or a load range F. Going to be an all-terrain, probably going to be a 33 1250. Probably going to go on my original 2014 wheels, and I'll be keeping the 2019 wheels with the 35 1250 tires on them. But give me a comment if you got something to say about tires. You know, this truck, it weighs 12,000 pounds, and the strange thing about that is 8,000 pounds of that weight's on the rear axle. There's only 4,000 on the front, and because of that, it wears out front tires worse. The front is kind of, you know, it's until you hit the brakes, the front's floating, but the truck handles great. Goes really good off-road for being as heavy as it is. It's the best truck I ever had. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and learn how to work with what you got. That way you always have everything you need. Hey, y'all. CB here at NBS Welding. We're in the break room doing a quick merch video. For any of you that are interested in merchandise to help support the channel, we got the stickers. Small size sticker, like a hard hat size, $3. Got the bull logo, NBS Welding, got the name and phone number. The medium size, $5. And then the big bumper sticker, $10. Now, there's no shipping on the stickers. We can put these in an envelope. It's pretty simple, no problem. Next thing is the shirts. We did have some trouble with the shirt order. We just got proof that they fixed the problem they had, and they sent us the proof. So this is, they got it right where the NBS Welding logo's on the chest, then the great big NBS Welding on the back, with the American flag on the sleeve, the way we like it. $25 for an NBS Welding shirt. These will be here, supposed to be here September 5th, so we're taking orders. Got a couple orders already. Wayne and Mike, you guys, you're going to be getting your shirt. It's coming. Next thing I want to talk about the cup. My buddy tried to make these cups, and I wanted the QR code on the cup, and he couldn't figure out how to make it work. He made me cups. The QR code wouldn't scan. He said he didn't. He finally gave up. He wanted to give me my money back. I said, no, not all of it. We're going to share the responsibility. Anyway, he gave me a portion of my money back. I gave him enough money to cover what he spent, but I continued to work on it and I got it worked out. I don't think my cups are as nice as his, but they work. And here's the thing, the QR code's got to be on the top where it's flat. If it's on the radius on the side of the cup, it's not going to scan. It's got to be on the top. I figured it out. But we got the cups. NBS welding with the bull logo, got less yakking, more tacking. Pretty simple cup, but like I said, I made this myself. I bought the cups and the materials. I put it together. Had to make it work. I didn't want to quit on it. Now I want to talk about this real quick because this something come up. A way for that you can give to the channel is through Super Thanks, through YouTube. And our guy Corey has given $100 Super Thanks repeatedly. And I keep thinking like, man, this Corey has contributed so much. I really want to do something to thank him, and I couldn't think of what I could afford to do. And I remembered these coins. Now, I had these coins made when I was making good money working in the oil field. And what this is, this is 1 troy ounce of 0.999 fine silver. It says NBS Welding. It's got the name and phone number and the designation 0.999 fine silver. So this is an ounce of pure silver. And if you turn it over, it's got the bull logo on the back. This coin, I'm sending this to Corey to thank him for all the super thanks that he's given. There's one thing that is, there's 2 things about super thanks. It's super easy for you guys to contribute to a YouTube channel through super thanks because you can go on your device and you can hit super thanks and boom, it's quick. It's easy for you to do. The problem with super thanks is YouTube gets 30% of that money. So out of a $10 super thanks, you're giving YouTube $3. But it's kind of like that with the merch too. If a shirt's $25, we have to buy the shirt. So I have to put money in, you know, there's money going somewhere. Anyway, this idea came up to give Corey a coin. And it's got a real nice little plastic case I'll show you. I just put it back in the case. That keeps them from getting fingerprints all over it. Here's the thing. When I got the idea that I was going to give Corey the coin, I wanted to offer it to everyone. So if you're interested in a coin, $50. Send Tina an email. nbswelding@aol.com. And thank y'all.